This is the day of Ashura, and by Allah's command, the responsibility of Imamat passed from Imam Hussein to our fourth Imam, Imam Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salam. Assalamu alaikum. Let's see and understand what is happening in the tents of Imam Hussein. Oh no, the tents are burning, the children are running, and the noble ladies of the Prophet's household were trying to shield the little ones. Their veils torn, their homes turned to ash. Look at that lady. That's Bibi Zainab, protecting our fourth Imam. Yes, dear kids, our Imam is still physically weak, his heart breaking under the weight of his father's sacrifice. But before his martyrdom, Imam Hussein entrusted the divine knowledge and the responsibility of Imamat to Imam Zain-ul-Abideen alayhi salam. On the morning of the 11th Muharram, Umar ibn Saad's men did not treat them with mercy. They tied ropes around the necks of the women and the children, and our Imam, they placed heavy, sharp iron chains around his neck and hands, chains so heavy that they cut into his skin with every step he was forced to take. Yes, the family of the Prophet became prisoners. Their long journey began. The caravan of the Prophet's family was led away from the bodies of their loved ones, left unburied on the sands of Karbala. They were taken from Karbala towards the city of Kufa. When the caravan reached Kufa, people gathered to look at the prisoners. Imam Zain-ul-Abideen stood before the crowd and introduced himself. He told them that he was Ali, the son of Imam Hussein, and the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. Many people realized that the prisoners standing before them were the family of the Prophet, and they began to cry. Remember, Umar ibn Saad wanted to humiliate the Prophet's family, but whenever he tried to do so, either Imam Zain-ul-Abideen or Bibi Zainab answered him through their sermons. On one occasion, when there was a large crowd and the enemy tried to humiliate the prisoners, Imam Zain-ul-Abideen addressed, O people, whoever knows me, and whoever does not know me, I shall tell him who I am. I am Ali, the son of Hussein, who was slaughtered by the river Furath without any guilt. After Kufa, the prisoners were taken to Shaam. It was a long journey through the desert. During this difficult journey, some young children from the family of Ahlul Bayt lost their lives, and their graves can still be visited today. Now coming back to the story. When they arrived in Shaam, Yazid held a gathering where many people had come. He wanted to claim total victory. He had his court speaker mock the Prophet's family, thinking he had finally erased the legacy of Hussein. But he underestimated the Imam. In the court of Shaam, Yazid appointed people to praise him and speak highly of his father and family. Once they had finished, Imam Zain-ul-Abideen said, If you are finished, then let me introduce myself. Yazid knew that if the Imam started speaking, he would not be able to defend himself. So he tried to stop the Imam, but the people pressured Yazid to allow him to speak. The sermon is long, but in it the Imam established his identity. He famously said, I am the son of Makkah and Mina. I am the son of Zamzam and Safa. He linked his ancestry to Prophet Muhammad, Imam Ali, Lady Fatima Zahra, and Imam Hussein, while referring to the holy places and sacred events of Islam to show the honor of his family. Then the Imam exposed the truth. He challenged Yazid by asking, This Muhammad, is he your grandfather or my grandfather? At first, many people believed the family standing before them were ordinary prisoners. But after the Imam introduced himself and his family, many people were shocked. They had never heard the true story before, and his speech changed the hearts of many people. When Yazid saw this, he became worried and ordered the azan to be called. Many historians say that because it was not planned, people became confused and 8 people began calling the azan. When the azan ended, the Imam repeated his question. Imam Zain-ul-Abideen asked again, "This Muhammad, is he your grandfather or my grandfather, O Yazid? If you say he is your grandfather, you have spoken a lie. And if you say he is my grandfather, then why did you kill his family?" Yazid could not answer. So he sent the family to Zindan-e-Sham, a dark, isolated dungeon, hoping that silence would make the world forget, where the Imam and his family stayed for a long time. During that time, many people came to meet the Imam, and he continued his mission. Yazid was forced to release them. They returned to Karbala, where they finally had the chance to weep over the graves of their martyrs before reaching to Medina. Eventually, they reached Medina, but Medina was no longer the same. Many beloved members of the family were missing, for the Imam every day was a reminder. When he saw water, he wept for the thirst of his father. His life was not defined by his grief alone. It was defined by his mission. For 33 years, he guided the Ummah. He taught the truth in secret. He spent his night carrying sacks of food to the doorsteps of the poor, his face hidden so they would never know it was the Imam of the time serving them. He gave us Sahifa al-Sajjadiyah, a book of prayers that is the window into his souls, and the other book, Risalatul Huquq, a book on rights that remains a masterpiece of human justice. He taught people about Islam. He spent long hours in worship. He secretly helped the poor during the night. He raised the next Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam. Most importantly, he made sure the world would never forget the sacrifice of Karbala. He survived the swords of Karbala to ensure that the sacrifice of his father would never be buried by time. During that time, he was arrested again because the rulers feared his influence, but he was released soon after. The Imam was later martyred in Medina by poison. This is the first series of Imam Zain-ul-Abideen's life. There is a lot to know about our fourth Imam. There is still so much to learn about the Imam's life. Inshallah, I hope to continue his story in future videos. But for now, this is the final episode of this series. Thank you for joining me on this series. Please share your thoughts in comments and let me know which Imam or member of Ahlul Bayt you would like to learn about next. Also tell me what was the most inspiring part of Imam Zain-ul-Abideen's story for you. See you later, kids. Allah Hafiz.